60 years after one of the most earth-shattering days in modern American history, when President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas in 1963.
President John F. Kennedy died at approximately 1 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now I was just literally sat in my car asking myself why I do this. I'm at St Peter's Church in Bakewell, not Dudley, where's Dudley from? Derby. The roads are flooded, there's a river or a stream or something up there, and the water, I don't know how my car got through it without leaking, I really don't. I had to drive over the pavements for most of it. Anyway, I don't know how I'm going to get out to the next one. My bonnet looks open. Why's my bonnet open? Crikey O'Reilly, my bonnet was open. We are here today to see the final resting place of Kathleen Kennedy. Of course, she was the sister of John F. Kennedy, the president. Now, the problem is, usually when I do my research beforehand and I either print it out or save it on my phone. On this occasion, I decided to save it on my phone. However, I don't have access to the internet because we are in the middle of nowhere. So usually, as you know, I do voiceovers afterwards anyway, but I just can't give you any bits of information beforehand. Usually I'd say something at the start of, oh, they did this, they did that, blah, 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 blah. I know she did marry an English guy, but we're just gonna have to grin and bear it today. All right, because you can see the conditions. It's horrible, it's nasty, it's yucky, but this place looks amazing. Let's get back to the good stuff. Let's look at that. Proper Hammer horror film right there. So we'll have a little look around, see what's what. I think, to be honest, I might just stand in here for the rest of today. Let's have a look. These steps were rebuilt and repaired to mark the 50th anniversary of the Dukedom of Andrew, 11th Duke of Devonshire, 2000 AD. Wow. Those stairs there. You can see what I mean now, guys, look. Literally middle of nowhere. Why do I do this? Right, I can't, again, I don't know what the grave looks like or anything, so I'm just going purely in the dark here. Ugh. But you're all right, you sit at home on your sofa and enjoy it. We'll have a little walk around the cemetery and I'll tell you a little bit about Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Agnes Cavendish, née Kennedy. Born February 20th, 1920, until May the 13th, 1948. Kathleen Agnes Kennedy was born at home, 83 Beale Street in Brookline, Massachusetts, the fourth child and second daughter to Joseph P. Kennedy, Sr. and Rose Fitzgerald. She was nicknamed Kick because of her irrepressible nature. Kathleen was especially close to her elder brother, John F. Kennedy, known as Jack. Her other siblings were Joseph Jr., Rosemary, Eunice, Patricia, Robert, Jean and Ted. Kathleen was educated at Riverdale Country School in the Riverdale section of the Bronx, New York City. She also attended Norriton Convent of the Sacred Heart in Norriton, Connecticut, and the Holy Child Convent in Neuilly, France. While the Kennedy daughters were not raised to have political ambitions like their brothers, they were nonetheless provided with many of the same educational and social opportunities, owing to their father's powerful financial and political connections and influence. This was particularly the case when President Franklin D. Roosevelt appointed Joseph as United States Ambassador to the United Kingdom in 1938. As a child, Kathleen was very athletic and played football with her brothers. Her optimism and high spirits attracted many suitors, some of whom were Jack's closest friends. When Kathleen attended the Riverdale County School, Her mother did not approve of the male attention she attracted and sent her to the all-girls Norriton convent of the Sacred Heart. Eventually, Kathleen started to date and had her first serious relationship with Peter Grace, an heir to W.R. Grace and Company. Kathleen's time in Britain during her father's term as ambassador dramatically influenced the remainder of her life. While living in England, she was educated in London at Queen's College and quickly cultivated a wide circle of friends, both male and female, in British high society. She dated David Rockefeller and was declared the debutante of 1938 by the English media, when she made her debut at the Queen Charlotte's Ball. Following the German invasion of Poland and the outbreak of World War II in September 1939, Kick, who was staying at a family home in the south of France, had to rush to England with her friend Janie Kenyon Slaney. The Kennedy family, to save Joseph and daughter Rosemary, returned to the United States. Kathleen, having become very fond of England and the many friends she had made during her 2 years here, petitioned her parents to remain in London, in spite of the coming danger. However, she was overruled by her father and sailed back home in the early fall of 1939. In 1943, seeking a way to return to England, Kathleen signed up to work for a centre for servicemen set up by the Red Cross. During her time in England, both before and particularly during the war, she grew increasingly more independent from her family and the Roman Catholic Church to which they belonged. During this time, Kennedy began a romantic relationship with politician William Cavendish, Marquess of Hartington, usually known to his family and friends as Billy Hartington. He was the eldest son and the apparent of the 10th Duke of Devonshire. The two had met and begun a friendship when she moved to England when her father was appointed American ambassador. Despite objections from her mother, Kennedy and Lord Hartington reunited upon her return to England. Rose especially rejected their relationship because she saw that their marriage would break the laws of the Roman Catholic Church by allowing Kathleen's children to be raised in the Church of England Anglican Communion, rather than the Roman Catholic Church. Rose even tried to manipulate their relationship by keeping Kathleen away from Hartington and postponing a possible wedding. Regardless, Kathleen married Hartington on the 6th of May 1944 in a civil ceremony at the Caxton Hall Registry Office. Kathleen's eldest brother, Joseph P. Kennedy Jr., an officer in the United States Navy to whom she had grown close during the last year of his life as he was serving in Britain, was the only member of the family to attend the ceremony. Kathleen, now the Marchioness of Hartington, and Lord Hartington spent less than 5 weeks together before he went out to fight in France. 4 months after their marriage and less than a month after Joe Jr. was killed, Hartington was killed by a sniper during a battle with the Germans in Belgium. With his family's blessing, he was buried close to where he fell. His younger brother, Lord Andrew Cavendish, who was married to Deborah Mitford, one of the Mitford sisters, thus became the heir, apparent to the dukedom as Billy Hartington had left no heir. Popular on the London social circuit and admired by many for her high spirits and wit, Lady Hartington eventually became romantically involved with the 8th Earl Fitzwilliam, who was in the process of divorcing his wife. Once again, Rose Kennedy expressed her disapproval of her daughter's suitor and warned Kathleen that she would be disowned and cut off financially if she married Lord Fitzwilliam. In May 1948, Kathleen learned her father would be travelling to Paris. In an effort to gain his consent for her upcoming plans to marry Fitzwilliam, she decided to fly to Paris to meet with her father. On May 13, 1948, Lady Hartington and Lord Fitzwilliam were flying from Paris to the French Riviera for a vacation aboard a de Havilland DH-104 Dove. At 3:30 in the afternoon, their plane took off, reaching an altitude of 10,000 feet. Approximately 1 hour into the flight, radio contact was lost with the plane when it entered the region near Vienne, which was also close to the centre of the storm. The plane's 4 occupants endured 20 minutes of severe turbulence, which bounced their small plane up and down as much as several thousand feet at a time. When they finally cleared the clouds, they instantly discovered the plane was in a dive and moments away from impact, and they attempted to pull up. The stress of the turbulence, coupled with the sudden change of direction, tore loose one of the wings, followed by both engines, and finally the tail. The plane's fuselage then spun into ground a second later, coming to a rest nosedive in the ravine after striking terrain at Plateau du Couronne, France. Lady Hartington was instantly killed, along with Fitzwilliam, the pilot Peter Townsend, and the navigator Arthur Freeman. She is buried on the Cavendish family burial grounds at St Peter's Churchyard. Her father was the only family member to attend the funeral arranged by the Devonshires. Rose Kennedy had refused to attend her daughter's funeral, instead entering a hospital for medical reasons. So I've been having a good look around in the shower. Do you know what? I think I found it. I'm sure I have. Let's go and have a look. Let's go over here. Ooh. There's some Victor Cavendish. I think it's this one here. Yeah, here we go. JFK's sister, look, wow. In loving memory of Kathleen, 1920-1948, widow of Major of the Marquess of Hartington, killed in action, and daughter of the Honourable Joseph Kennedy. Can't read this last bit, it's not too clever. Something Ambassador of the United States. Can't quite read that bit. But there's obviously a USA flag there with a dollar, look. And then here, in memory of John F. Kennedy. Let's wipe the camera off a bit. President of the United States of America, who, with something or another, this, I can't quite read that bit. You guys might be able to see it. It's really chucking it down here, and the weather's not so good, as you can tell. It's sorry I look like Noddy. It's hard to fathom. Yeah, it's hard to fathom, isn't it, that, you know, the President of the United States' sister, especially John F. K, such a well-known president, you know, got assassinated in 1963 in Texas. Was it in Dallas? I think it was in Dallas, which is in Texas, isn't it? I think it was there. And his sister, Kathleen, bless her. Bless you, Kathleen. And, you know, the Kennedy family, they had a lot of tragedies in their times, didn't they? So many people died so young in that family. But yeah, it's weird to see, you know, you'd have thought that she would have been repatriated home, but obviously not. She's staying here, obviously with her being married to a British man. It's not very nice today, have you noticed? I'm going to get out of here because I won't be able to drive out of here soon because the roads are getting really bad. So on that note, guys, please leave your comments down below. Please like and, you know, you've got to subscribe to the channel now. It's free, it don't cost you anything. Look what I go through. I've driven to the middle of nowhere. I'm absolutely drenched. Look at my legs. I don't know if you can see that or not. Look, drenched. So if you haven't subscribed yet and you're watching this, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a penny. Just press the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.